And we're here for another edition of the Jersey Cape Podcast. Dennis Brown, your host, and we'll be checking in with the Cape May County Zoo today as they are going to be celebrating their 40th anniversary this year, which is really exciting. And I'm excited to talk with them to see all the new things that are going on there and kind of their plans for the celebration, which will be taking place June 9th, which we will get into in a couple of minutes. But first, I want to talk about some things to do this summer. And this time, we're going to focus on if you're looking for things to do when it rains, because this is always a question that comes up. Now, we would like to say it doesn't rain very much down at the Jersey Cape. So if you're on vacation, for the most part, you're in good shape. But it does occasionally rain, and there are lots of great things to check out if it does. First off, if you're looking for something to do, I mean, this is even if it doesn't rain, but, if you're looking for a nighttime activity, something of that nature, Harbor Square Theater, it's on 96th Street in Stone Harbor. It's a fabulous newer theater that was built a couple of years ago. They've really made it into a great theater. They have about 5 screens there. All the new movies come through there. They also are attached with the Harbor Burger Bar, and you're able to bring drinks from the bar into the theater, which is really unique and cool for the area. Not many places are doing that, at least down near here. So right on 96th Street in Stone Harbor, you go in. They have all the great new movies, whether you are going to be going to see, the Jurassic Worlds or, a couple months back if you wanted to see the Avengers movie and all that kind of stuff. They have it all there. So it's definitely a movie theater that whether it's raining or not, you want to check it out. But again, it's a great place to go if it is raining. Another great option for you if it's going to rain, shopping. Now, we have a ton. We don't do the shopping malls in the Jersey Cape. Again, from Ocean City to Cape May, we don't have those types of things here. I mean, we have these little, you have little clusters of a few of the bigger stores, but they're still more on the lower end as far as the numbers that we have. We have a lot of great boutique shops and a lot of great mom and pop shops. Some of the great shopping districts, are the Washington Street Mall in Cape May, Stone Harbor's 96th Street, Ocean City, right down Asbury Avenue. And of course, each town has some great shopping in the Wildwood, Seattle City, Avalon. Everybody's got some great shopping districts, and all have their own unique styling, their unique feeling, and all have different types of things that you can get. And there's really a wide range. A lot of locally made, locally sourced products are getting sold, and it's really cool. We're friends with some of the farmers and also some of the people doing like the honey production and things like that. And you can get a lot of those local products that are being made in Cape May County in the stores that you're shopping in. So they're definitely places that you want to check out. Again, the people will always talk about those main shopping districts, but again, each town has its own little hub and unique set of shops, and they're all ones that you want to check out. Pretty much every town has a chamber of commerce, so you can Google whether you're looking for the Wildwood Chamber, Seattle Chamber, all that. Now, if you have the kids and you're looking to do something indoors, obviously the arcades are always fun. In the Wildwoods, you have Gateway 26, Jilly's up in Ocean City. A lot of different types of ones depending upon where you're living and what you're looking to do. But those arcades are a lot of fun. I'm a grown adult and still love to go to the arcades. I'm probably about 8 or 9 at heart. I go there at least a couple times a summer because I haven't felt like I've gotten my boardwalk fill unless I go there. But again, if it's raining, you're looking for something to do with the kids. It's quintessential shore, quintessential, boardwalk entertainment, boardwalk fun. Bring the kids over to the arcade, and it gives them something fun to do throughout the day if it's raining, and it really provides kind of a fun atmosphere for them. Now, if you don't have the kids and you're looking for something to do when it rains, wineries, breweries, distilleries, Cape May County has a plethora of them, over a dozen now in the county. The wineries being the most prevalent, but again, we still have a good amount of breweries, a good amount of distilleries. If you're looking for the old standards on breweries, Cape May Brewery that was the original. And you have, the ones like Slack Tide and 7 Mile. With the wineries, from Hawk Haven to Willow Creek to Cape May Winery, Jesse Creek. And then we have some great distilleries as well. Overall, lots of great selection. And it's definitely, something you can make an afternoon of, going to try a couple of places. And of course, another thing, and final one we'll put on this list, though there's plenty of things you can do on a rainy day, is you can also go to one of our great museums. A lot of cultural heritage opportunities for you in the area. Naval Air Station Wildwood being, among the top ones, but historic Cold Spring Village, and there's some great museums, all from Ocean City down to Cape May. A number of ones to check out depending upon what you're looking for historically or culturally to take a look at. So definitely lots of options there. Back here on the Jersey Cape podcast, Dennis Brown, your host, with you, and we have two great gentlemen joining us today from the Cape May County Zoo. Ed Runyon, who is in charge of the parks and the whole operation here, and we have Dr. Alex Ernst, who is one of the veterinarians here at the zoo. We're very exciting, 40th anniversary this year. Ed, we'll start with you. I know you're putting together a lot of great plans. June 9th is the date. Could tell people a little bit about all the exciting action that we have coming up for them.
Yeah, June 9th, starting about 11 o'clock. We have a lot of stuff planned. Out in the courtyard of the entrance to the zoo, we have a lot of almost festivities planned throughout the day. A whole bunch of different characters are going to be walking around. We have stuff for the kids, for bounce houses, a lot of just background stuff like steel drummers, magicians, stilt walkers, and then we also have a lot of speeches that are going to go on talking about our 40th anniversary.
Now, the zoo has a very rich and exciting history. I don't know which one of you wants to take it, but if we could talk a little bit about how this whole has come together. And, we were talking before we kind of started this about it's really over some recent years, the growth, everything has kind of really jumped up a huge level. So you can kind of talk about how we've kind of started, a little smaller zoo, and now we're at this thing that, is getting ranked nationally, top 25. I mean, it's a really interesting and exciting story here at Cape May County.
It started back in 1978. They opened up the zoo. It was actually March 6th when they had the grand opening. It was a small zoo. It was the idea about 1 acre of land that they would have just an area for the people to come and see some of the animals, some local animals that were indigenous to the area, and then some other exotic animals. It slowly grew over the next few years to include like a lion and some primates and different things like that. And then eventually in the early 80s, it grew a little bit more with addition of some of the areas and added some black bears and some other animals. But it really took off in the mid-90s, when they built in a reptile house. They added much bigger exhibits, and we built a Savannah boardwalk also, and that opened up that way. And so it's been growing more and more over the course of the years, and we're still growing now. We have a few more exhibits that are opening and have opened in the past few years.
This might be good to get Alex to jump in here, but with the couple of the new additions you've had since last Labor Day, so a lot of the people that are coming down to the zoo, that visit in the summer might not have, obviously seen new giraffe, bongo. If you could talk a little bit about the new additions that you've had over the past year and, kind of the growth that, people will be excited to see when they come back this summer.
Sure. Mother Nature's on her own schedule, so we can't necessarily plan for baby animals exactly during the busy season. So we had a giraffe calf. He was born back in November. And he is, if you come to see him now, he's over 6 months old at this point. So he's not the cute baby giraffe that people, I think, are picturing. He's, half the size of his mom at this point. But, it's still interesting to see, and he's certainly a lot more playful than the adults are. So we do encourage people to come out and check out our giraffe calf. Part of the 40th anniversary is a naming contest we had for him, and that will be unveiled during the June 9th ceremony. So that will be exciting for all of us. And then this spring, we did have a bongo. Bongo are a forest-dwelling antelope that's from Africa, and we've had a very successful program, species survival program here for bongo over the years, and we just continued with that. We had a calf born back in April, a young male, and so he's currently not yet visible to the public. They have to grow up a little bit for us to let him outside into the habitat. So he's being kept safe and sound with mom back in our barn. But we do expect to unveil him sometime this summer. We don't exactly have a timeline for that yet because we've got a few things going on in our savannah. But once we determine when we're going to release him to the public viewing, we'll certainly let everyone know.
Now, Alex, obviously you get to have these interactions. You work with the animals as closely, obviously, as anybody here at the zoo. If you could take people behind the scenes a little bit, because I think people, they really love the zoo. They love the animals. Basically everything here survives on donations. A lot of people do, donate well. With your kind of behind the scenes, you work with the animals. Talk a little bit about your day to day. Like how does it kind of work as a veterinarian behind the scenes, taking care of the animals here at the zoo?
Well, I think people that are familiar with our facility knows that we have a large family of animals here. We have roughly 500 animals here at the Cape May County Zoo, representing 250 species. So that's a pretty good collection, and so it keeps us pretty busy. I would say that one of the things that we deal with that we'd like the public to know is that animals here at the Cape May County Zoo and in all accredited zoos across the country, the thing you have to worry the most about with them is geriatric issues. I mean, they can live 2 to 3 times longer than their lifespan in the wild when they're living in our care, because they have the best of care here. They have the best nutrition. They get veterinary care. So, as a result of that, they can live, again, 2 to 3 times longer than their natural lifespan. So as a result, we tend to have, sometimes older animals here at the zoo. And so that's really, we like people to know that that's what occupies most of my time during the day is, working with whatever geriatric animals we have. And, the animal care staff we have here is, some of the best in the country. And so, they're on top of taking care of these animals and meeting all their husbandry needs. And then, I take care of their medical needs. So, yeah.
And, it's funny because, I get to represent the county sometimes on, I was helping out with some of the travel shows we go to. And it's amazing because, between the combination of donations and obviously what the government takes care of, people don't always even realize it's a free zoo that people can come to. And, you tell people that and it kind of surprises them. And, it is amazing. It is always amazing for people to realize how much you can do here at the zoo, how much is provided, comparable to zoos across the country, and they're not paying these huge ticket prices.
And I agree, and I think Ed could probably speak on this as well, but I would say the number one thing I hear from people who visit our zoo, I mean, and when I walk around, we're in uniform, so I get pulled off to the side a lot, and people will say, this is our first time here. We can't believe how big this zoo is, and we can't believe that it's free, and hear it all the time. And we used to hear it a lot more when we weren't as popular or weren't as nationally recognized as we were, but we still hear it. And, I think, this county gets a lot of guests and visitors from out of state, and people might not be as familiar with us as our locals are. So when they visit us, especially if it's their first time, they are always impressed with with how good the zoo is, and it's free.
Yeah, and we'll can jump Ed back in here. You were telling me the numbers really impressive here over the last few years. And part of it, we talked about TripAdvisor giving you a top 25 zoo recognition and some of the other stuff, but the numbers here at the zoo have really been growing over the last few years.
Yeah, every year we grow a little bit more and more with our attendance. It's a lot because of the fact that a lot of the social media places that are out there, you can check all the reviews and see that, like Dr. Ernst was just saying, this is the first time they've been here, and they're surprised at how well the zoo is maintained, how well the animals are kept, and how it's free, how incredibly it's free. That definitely boosts us into the fact that we get more and more attendance every year. We had about 650,000 people come through the zoo last year, and that's the bulk of that is through our late spring or throughout the summer and early fall time. So year round, that's a pretty impressive number for us.
And again, we'll wrap it up here in a second, but June 9th is the big ceremony. If you want to remind people, I think 10 to 2 is the time frame they're looking at, but remind people what they can look forward to that day, because it's going to be very special here at the zoo.
Yeah, the zoo opens up at 10. The actual ceremony, everything starts at 11 o'clock. It's all in the courtyard of the zoo. We expect a lot of people to be here. We expect to have a good time here, so it'll be pretty nice.
And you want to be here early if you're coming.
Yes.
You definitely want to come here early, get your parking spot, all that kind of stuff. But very exciting. And obviously, even if you can't make it June 9th, definitely check them out this summer. Again, it's free. They do take donations at the front, but, compared to what you're paying to get into other zoos, if you throw a little in the bucket, you're still doing yourself a lot better than some of the other prices out there. So thanks again, Ed, Alex. Appreciate both of you giving us a couple minutes, and best of luck to you for this 40th season here at the zoo.
Thank you.
And we just want to remind you, if you are liking the content you're getting, you can always follow us on Facebook at the Jersey Cape on Facebook. Make sure you check us out there. Lots of great information about everything we have going on here at the Jersey Cape all year long. And we are excited that you've been listening to the Jersey Cape podcast. We hope you catch up on some of the past episodes and continue to check out for new ones in the future. Thanks for listening today. I'm Dennis Brown with your Jersey Cape podcast.